I mean, can't argue that. I mean,
I'll argue that. Yeah, come on. After all these years, we know a little something. A little bit of everything. A lot of nothing. COVINO and Rich, Fox Sports Radio. Hey! Friday!
Today's Friday.
Officially here.
I could get down with a little Friday action. Let's go.
Thursday's the new Friday, but Friday is still Friday.
Today's Friday.
Pumped about the weekend. Chavez Jr., Jake Paul fight weekend.
And hey, listen, you have a nice weekend. Next week, a short week into the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
Where everyone says the same thing every year. Ooh, it was better last year.
Fireworks were better last year. Is that the finale? Let's be rocking out. Hell yeah.
Is it over? Is that it?
So pumped to be here. Glorious Friday. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. You can stream this show, all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live. And the newest feature on the app, you can make us number one on your preset, just like in your car. By the way, good to see you, Iowa Sam, on the ones
Hello.
and twos.
Hi, Sammy.
We got super producer Danny G, always holding it down. The smoothest, most buttery voice in all the land. It's not Barry White. It's Danny G.
Happy Friday.
Hell yeah. 877-99 on Fox. And always a delight to see the great Monsi Bolaños with your updates.
Hi, guys. Happy Friday.
Hell
Friday.
yeah.
Friday.
Today's Friday.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for getting involved with us.
She's
By the
looking
way,
extra
7.99
cheesy
on
over
Fox.
there.
I have not
So good.
heard a Bill Belichick update in a minute. I heard Sam
Yeah.
play the Friday.
Today's Friday.
But when was the
Yeah.
last time you heard from Bill Belichick and his girlfriend?
I don't know. Pablo Torre's probably talking about it as we speak.
Pablo Torre is naked in his room thinking about it. That guy's obsessed.
He's
A little
obsessed.
bit.
He's
Little
the
bit.
guy that's leaking all the stories. I mean, God bless him.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah. I say that respectfully, but yeah, he's the guy all about it. So, I don't know. Let me DM him. We'll find out. Maybe we'll get an update.
Well, we got a lot to get to today. We're going to talk about the Harpers, the basketball family. Newly drafted Dylan and his dad, Ron.
I wonder why.
There's a Cal Raleigh story. We're going to talk about Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark, but I got to ask you real quick out the gate as we get our Friday show started. We talk about sports every day. We talk to the Fox Sports Radio Nation. People from the East Coast, West Coast, different countries, different states.
Don't forget the middle of the country.
Middle America, bro. Middle Earth. If you're such a sports fan, do you need to at least play some sport, be somewhat active?
No. Derek Jeter loves sports more than you. Said he hasn't swung a bat in 10 years.
That's not a good example.
How is
he's
it
a
not?
retired
He
athlete.
built
He's
his
a
whole
retired
life in
at-
sports.
Yeah, but that's a terrible example.
That is
Thank
a
you.
terrible example.
How is that a terrible example?
Because that's not what he's talking about.
Who loves sports more than a guy that built his whole life around
Monty,
sports?
I got you,
Thank-
Rich.
thank-
I got you.
Yo.
Sorry.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it. You don't get it.
I don't get it because I live in a world of competing in things that matter. You know, I'm not wasting my time doing recreational nonsense.
I don't get it. It's called
I get
hobbies,
that.
dude. I mean, if
I have
you're
hobbies. My
if-
hobbies is doing radio. I
No,
love
that
doing
is your
this.
job.
But it's also my hobby. Wow. You know, I didn't get into this because it was a job. I got into it because I love it. So
No, but
that's my
I'm-
hobby.
I'm talking about like a hobby, though, bro.
Yeah,
I love
but
it. I
Playing
love it.
goofy intramural sports was something I did when I was in my 20s for fun.
But I'm saying
A lot
everyone,
of adults don't have that time or mental energy for that sort of thing.
I'm just saying if
And
you're,
on my
if
downtime, I
you're a
wanna
sports
relax.
fan and you watch every day and you're analyzing the NBA, WNBA, baseball, football, basketball, you're so involved. I'm just shocked that a lot of people don't actually play sports. Golf, tennis, softball, volleyball, pickup basketball.
A lot of people do because that's their exercise. That's their joy.
That's my
you
point.
do it when you can, not in an organized way where you have to make a commitment.
Yeah, this guy's like calling me up on a Wednesday night on his ride home from a softball game at 10 p.m. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
kidding
saying,
me?
like, if you love sports so much, I'm shocked
Yeah.
that more
you know
people
what I love more than
don't
that?
play.
Chilling on a
All right,
Wednesday night.
So chilling is what you prefer.
Yeah, because my mental energy is going to the next day of work. You're spreading yourself thin. That's how I feel about it.
But life's not about work.
If you love what you do, which I do, I don't know about
I
you.
mean, don't be one-dimensional.
Balance,
It's-
Daniel,
it's-
son. Balance.
It's not.
I mean,
hey, you know where I just came from? The gym. So that's my exercise.
Sure about that?
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Look what I'm wearing. Yeah, and I just saw the boss as I was leaving the gym. And I was nice and sweaty, and I gave him a nice sweaty hug.
Gross.
I think, you know, hey, man, I'm in my late 40s. I had my glory in my 20s, 30s.
about
My
glory.
my my fulfillment comes from achieving things as a parent, watching my nephews play sports, excelling in my career. Hitting a goofy softball home run doesn't have that same thrill or importance to me as it did when I was a younger guy, because that's when it mattered.
What happened
that's
to
me.
the phrase "work hard, play hard"?
Play hard means, hey, I'm going to Bahamas next month. I'll see you there.
Well,
I'm not trying to like play recreational softball.
I'm just saying we all love sports so much.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked that
but
if
people
you,
do,
if you
Rich.
love sports so much.
But a lot of people do, so I don't know where you're getting this from. There's so many dudes that play pickleball or beach volleyball or pick up basketball. Like,
Golf.
there's plenty of golf.
My cousin just started golf.
Yeah, I mean, because that's fun for them, and they need that sort of release. My work is fun. I'm not stressed out in that way where I need to escape the way some people do.
Monty, you play sports.
I do.
Yeah. What do you play?
Right now, I'm playing volleyball, but
Yeah.
in my life, I've played other
Yeah,
sports.
I'm also like 15 years older than her with a kid and 3 other jobs. So you expect me to be living her life? You're out of your mind.
I'm just saying. Spot does yoga.
I was just at the gym. What are you talking about?
Okay.
So stay active. Hell yeah. Go take a walk. Take your dog for a walk.
Does speed
Spend time
walking
with your
count?
kids.
Speed
How about you
walking.
stay home
That's
and
what I
take?
do.
How about you take your kid to get some ice cream or something?
Does kid corralling count?
Yeah,
Rich, if you
I-
have
people,
a,
how about
if you have a
people
toddler.
are busy, people are exhausted, people have real lives. I don't think my parents were worried about like playing beach volleyball when they had 5 kids.
Listen, if Rich did not burn off some of that extra energy, you don't know what he'd be like.
Yeah, he's like a chihuahua that needs a walk. Not everyone. Yeah, some people like to relax a little bit. I think you're undermining the importance of chilling and I don't know, enjoying the home you paid for. You have a pool in your house. Enjoy that.
In the house.
You have to go.
That's
You have
baller.
to. You have to go out. Yeah, he's like Francis Buxton.
Yeah.
The files are in the computer.
He has a pool in his house.
He's got a
But
canoe
anyway,
in there, too.
You know, Rich is saying, if you love sports so much, why don't you play sports? I think there's a lot of people that do. A lot of people that do.
I just want to throw it out there because I see everyone on this network and other networks yapping about
Dan
sports. and I'm-
Byer plays golf all the time. Monty plays softball and she's in a million different leagues. She's playing Ultimate Frisbee tonight, probably.
She plays cricket.
Yeah,
He's
Danny
got
G
a-
has 12 kids. Where does he have time to do that?
He's got a kickball game later.
Iowa Sam.
I play pocket pool.
Yeah, there you go. You know what I mean? Spot is a yoga master. Like, what do you expect? What do you want people to do? We're adults. You know, time is limited. That's how I feel about it.
Hey.
It's what do you choose to do in your spare time?
Hey, dude, sorry I brought it up.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where it came from.
I'm just saying it's we every day, brainstorm topics, ideas. We overanalyze and have so much fun talking about sports. I would just imagine that you have that same level of interest in playing sports. For a guy
Yeah.
that talks about his 27 Little League home runs and how you're the
I mean,
football
I know you think I
champion
look
and-
like a young, spry, handsome Latino man. But you think I have the same energy that I had in my 20s and 30s? You're out of your mind.
You act like
my
you're-
birthday's next
You
month.
always talk about how you're the
Like on
youngest
my
guy.
downtime, I
You-
want to like
You
relax,
talk
bro.
about how you're the youngest guy in this network.
Yeah.
And you're acting like you're Big Mike who runs this place. What does he have? Like 8 hip replacements?
Who?
Something like that.
No, but that's why
There should
did I
be
not
a-
just come back from the gym? I'm sorry. It's not like I'm sitting home being lazy all the time.
Mike did competitive power slapping before it became a thing.
He did.
And by the way, I just found out today that he was his high school heavyweight arm wrestling champion.
Yeah.
So Mike's
He was
no
the guy
slouch.
from Over the Top.
Yeah.
The guy taking on Sly.
he's the one Sly beat in the second scene.
I think there's an in-between phase of life where you can't really play pickup basketball the way you used to, and you're not quite ready for the golf course, even though I think
Yeah.
that's probably my next step. So, I mean, no one's canceling out on that, but I think my focus is excelling in my career, and when I'm sort of where I want to be, yeah, I have time to dip away and hit the course. Pick up a pickleball paddle. But I don't find the importance the way some people do because my life is fun. Some people need to get away and get out of the house. You got 2 rugrats at home, so I could see you wanting to get out. I got a teenage daughter. I co-parent. Life is not as stressful as you think, even though I do have an ex I got to deal with too. But, my job
brought
is
it up, not
fun.
me.
My job is fun, so this is my outlet. That's how I feel about it. And some people are just busy, bro. Busy with life.
Get off Covino's back. Come on.
I don't know if he's on my back or
I
don't
can
know
never
who
tell
he's-
anymore.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm trying to figure out where it came from.
It just came from just a simple idea. You know what I actually thought of? We were at our big event. We had hundreds of people at Atomic Golf in Vegas. And I'm walking around. I'm like, some of these people have never swung a golf club. yet they're all sports fans and
Haven't swung a golf club since I was like 20-something years
all I'm
old.
saying is that for people that are so passionate about sports, I'm saying the general public,
Yeah.
I feel like so many people watch but don't actually participate.
Well, think about movies and shows. Like, we're passionate about that stuff, and we've never, except for Covino, we've never been on TV shows.
I look at it this way, Danny. All of us.
Because I'm using my mental energy to do stuff that matters to me and pertains to my career.
All right, fine, fair. I'm just
you know
saying,
what I mean? Like hitting a softball bomb does
Yeah.
nothing for my confidence and nothing for me personally. If it does for you, that's fine.
I'm just saying
But I'm trying to answer that question.
we talk about how sports was such a big part of our childhood, how nothing was more fun than playing Little League, wiffle ball, high school football, basketball at the park, all these things. I just find it funny how we all sort of like stopped.
Well,
Not all of us. I'm saying
Dude,
a
I
lot
love
of
eating
us did.
pizza, but I don't make it. I just buy it and eat it.
Well, we're going to revisit this when we get to the MLB Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
There's a good story there today.
And by the way, we're going to be there this year, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're going to have the details on Monday afternoon's show.
Yeah.
Let's just open it up
Man.
then.
Magic City. Atlanta, here we come.
877-99 on Fox. I love boxing. I've never been in a boxing gym in my life. Well,
But
to work
see-
out, right?
I'm just saying. all right, I'm done.
If you love sports, and I imagine you do, you're listening to Fox Sports Radio, why don't you play sports? And the answer is probably, I don't know, dude, because I'm 50-something and like I'm tired.
You're
and
50-something?
I'm saying for the majority of our
Yeah,
audience.
you're
Well,
I don't know,
even-
because I'm
even-
living my life and I got to wake up for work the next day.
Even our younger listeners, like my sons that are both in college right now, they don't do sports anymore because they're out of that part of their life. They played high school sports. They're not playing collegiately.
Honestly, I don't want to. I feel like I've had my glory there, and I'm trying to capture glory or recapture that same
Yeah.
feeling doing things that matter to me now. Those things don't matter to me now.
I think we go through phases though, because Rich, I was in that same Balboa league you're in 8 years ago when I was single and didn't have a family. Yeah. Now I have stepkids and my own little kid, so there's no time. Like literally, I couldn't carve out time to play in a league.
And you think anyone loves sports more than Danny?
Yeah. No, I just, you know what it's like? You know how, I'll give you the example. Video games. There was a time in college where I said, you know what? I think I'm done with video games because I cared way more about booty and getting ahead in like my career. I was like, I'm really loving radio and I'm really loving all these random sorority girls. Video games, it's been fun. Goodbye. I never did that with sports. Like,
I did. When I hung up my cleats, like for real, like I was, hey, I'm done. I'm moving on. And I focused everything on broadcasting and everything on radio. That's the truth. And like, I give you the answer and I feel like it's never suffice and you don't like get it because I'm not you. And I think that would be for the majority of people. I had my fulfillment playing sports and now I get my fulfillment out of succeeding as a parent, watching my kids succeed, as a broadcaster, as a guy who's doing another new television show that I talked about today right before this show. You know, those are the things that thrill me now. Hitting a 3-point shot at the gym at 8 p.m. on a Thursday, not my vibe anymore. Even though I'll still shoot around and I still go to the gym every day. I think that's the least you could do.
Take that, Rich.
Yeah, I just
That in your
came
pipe
back.
and smoke it.
I feel like Monsi's the only one that understands me.
How old is Monty, bro? And how old are you? You know, when I was 30-something too, I was playing in my company softball league. I am now my daughter's chauffeur. She has no kids. Different life. Are you living her life or are you living the life of a 40-something-year-old guy?
Monty,
Sounds to me you're living the life of a 30-year-old young woman with no kids.
she gets me. All right, let's
This
pivot.
dude's in like 7 softball leagues and expects me like to I don't know, understand that.
I think Rich for his age is a outlier. Like the man has like how many hours of sleep do you get every night? Like 3?
I would imagine that
And
6
endless
is
amounts of
suffice.
energy. You know?
just pump bop out of bed and you're like,
I would say like midnight to 6 or 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the suffice
you're
amount
built,
of sleep.
You're built differently.
Did you just say bop out of bed? Who
Yeah,
are you,
I don't
my
know.
grandfather?
I don't know.
springs out of it.
Man, bopping out of bed.
Swinging in my step,
Man, a nickel in my pocket.
bopping out of bed.
Let's pivot to the WNBA, and you're shocked. You're like, Rich, you want to talk about WNBA? Not really, but there's a story, a headline that did get me pulled in
It's Sophie Cunningham, who's all the buzz.
I'm finding her pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is, especially after she stuck up for Caitlin Clark.
Not only
Yeah.
is she physically hot, I find her whole attitude and vibe hot. Like, I think that girl is fine.
She's
Yeah, I'm into her.
Sophie, so fine.
And the headline, which Monty covered in her update, is that Clark is not going to play against
She's
Beckers.
not playing. Yeah, so another matchup that she's gonna miss. Big
That's
one.
the matchup everyone wanted to
Another
see.
game that'll have 12 people in attendance.
We're
Well,
not
now.
getting
Yeah.
it. Sophie Cunningham speaks on the Fever's struggles recently. Again, they're 7-8. Caitlin Clark's out. She's game to game, not playing against the Dallas Wings. You heard Monty talk about it. That's the matchup everyone wanted to see. She says, we're circled on everybody's schedule. No one likes us. And I think that's a lot to do with Caitlin Clark, a lot to do with people knowing that she's the one to beat. If they have success with her and her team, they get talked about, they're highlighted, they could go viral, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons. So is it good to play with a target on your back? That's number one. Do they not like the Fever, or do they not just like Caitlin Clark? That's another way to look at it, too. There's a lot going on there. Or are they just the team to beat because of all the hype around them?
Well, you can't be the team to beat if you're under 500. That's how, like, when people say
people are going to play harder against you because that's their Super Bowl.
When people say, oh, we got the Chiefs circled on the calendar this year, it's because every team is like, all right, that's our litmus test. How are we against Mahomes, Kelsey, and a team that is a
Yes.
dynasty
Yeah,
in the
but it's
NFL?
also more eyes on that team, so they want to step it up and
Yeah,
bring
but-
their best that game. So
But
there's so many
usually
factors here.
The sentiment of that game is circled is a revenge game or a litmus test. I think this is an attention test, and you mildly pointed out, let me back you up, that I think there's a lot of players in the WNBA that look at this as my chance to get noticed. And get noticed could mean a sponsorship. Get noticed could mean trending on TikTok or Instagram or X. You play Caitlin Clark, and that's why I do think Caitlin Clark gets roughed up. I mean, you could say it's because, you would think women support women, but they go at each other. I think to F with Caitlin Clark is like recipe number one to get attention.
Yeah, but you want to show that person too. If she's so good, let's see it.
You
'Cause
elbow-
I'm bringing my A
Bro.
game today.
Well,
let's
and
see what you got.
I think truly some of these women don't like the attention she's getting. They
Yeah,
want
they're
the
envious,
attention
they're
on them
jealous.
too. Yeah.
They've been in the league for a few years, and she comes in. She's everybody's darling. She's getting all the credit. They don't like her attitude. Maybe there's so many factors here.
They're like, you're getting $75,000 a year. I'm only getting $25,000 a year.
Let me tell you, Danny, the thought though of these women saying like, yo, she's great, but is she that great? Like, there is a cattiness going on, and it happens among men too. But you're seeing it on the main stage here at the WNBA that there are a lot of women that just hate the attention.
Yeah, we talked about Kelsey
She is-
Plum just the other day.
Now, there's two ways to look at this. The headline, that I wrote down on my notes here. Do you like the whole vibe of like, yo, come at me, bro? Or do you like to lay low and sort of be successful under the radar? Because right now, they're under 500. Right now, the Fever are 7-8. Yes, Caitlin Clark has missed a couple games. They'll likely be a postseason team. But they're 7-8.
I love it,
Hold
Rich.
on now.
And I think I love it because it speaks volumes more about the people that are hating on Caitlin Clark and circling the schedule than it does about Caitlin Clark or anyone else. Because if you're reaching for greatness and you're achieving the way Caitlin Clark is, it just screams of envy. It really does when people are coming at her the way that they are. They're just jealous. Instead of embracing what she's doing for the league and for the attention of the league and the overall greater good of the league, they're coming at her, trying to knock her down, trying to rough her up. It speaks more about them and their insecurities than it does about Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever.
It's definitely a combination.
So that's what I'm
of-
saying. Like, if someone's going to
those
hate on me
things.
because I'm doing well, it's more on them. You're just doing what you're
Yeah.
trying to do and trying to accomplish.
I think it's a combination of those things. There is a jealousy, like, yo, hating on me because I'm doing well and bringing attention. But also, there's a big layer of, yo, it's almost like if you dated an influencer, all of a sudden you'd get more followers. I know it's a dumb analogy, right? But if you mess with Caitlin Clark, by nature, you are in the headline. So-and-so elbows Caitlin Clark to the ground. And now all of a sudden, you're like a cool name in the WNBA while they're looking for players. Because the average person, you ask the average dude, name WNBA players, go. they'd stop at 4 or 5. They'd say Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese,
Paige
Beckers,
Sophie
Taurasi.
Cunningham.
So
Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, is she still playing?
No, she's
No, but
retired.
that's who they
Yeah,
would
yeah,
mention.
yeah.
That would be in the 5.
Something Lobo. Who's Bobo?
Cameron
Rebecca.
Brink.
Cameron-
Oh yeah,
Rebecca
well,
Lobo
Rebecca
played in
Lobo
the
is
WNBA. Now she's a
but
broadcaster.
she hasn't played
The
in a
one
while.
that got arrested in Russia.
Brittany Griner,
Brittany Griner. Like you be
Kelsey Plum,
Kelsey Plum,
Sabrina Ionescu,
Ionescu because of the
Brianna
3-point.
Stewart.
Brianna Stewart.
So, but I think we're at the limit, and that's about we're
Asia Wilson.
Okay, we're doing all right.
Satu Sabali.
You could
That
simplify.
you just made up a name like that.
Did-
Oh,
That's a real name.
Okay.
Hey, we're always
Did
on a
anyone
constant
say the
quest.
legendary Sue Bird?
Sue Bird.
Sue Bird.
Chipotle
You can
worker.
simplify the question.
How dare you?
Chipotle worker, yeah. Good one, Spot.
Stupid. That's where he chimes in.
Spot, go home. You've Good
night, everybody.
Enough today.
877-99 on Fox. All right, we can simplify this real easy. Ready? Sophie Cunningham talks about the Fever struggles, and she says, we're circled on everyone's schedule. No one likes us because they're 7 and 8 right now. I guess you could really simplify it by asking, why are the Fever, really, why are the Fever circled on everyone's schedule? And why doesn't anyone really like them?
Because it's going to be the most eyes on them. It's a litmus test to play against Caitlin Clark.
No, but what's the real
And
answer?
they
'Cause they're not that
they
good.
probably secretly just don't like her.
Listen,
that's it.
And they're jealous a little.
They are good. I think Caitlin Clark's now missed. This is either 4 or 5 games she's missed.
They're not that good right now, though,
Right.
Sam. That's what I'm saying.
But they did. They went on the road and they beat the Seattle Storm without Caitlin Clark having a good game. They still won because Aaliyah Boston was great. They can win without her, but they've already beaten the Liberty. They were the first to take the Liberty down when they were undefeated. They've had some other great wins. So when they're at their healthiest, they're at their best, they are one of the better teams at WNBA. Hands down.
This conversation in itself is proof of what this woman has done for the league. I don't think.
Remember last summer, you're like, oh, this will taper off. Like, I don't expect this to last until September.
I do.
Into
But you know
late
what?
summer.
We're trying to get to the bottom of something, but more than one thing can be true, right? I'm sure a lot of people don't like her because they're jealous and they just don't like the attention she gets. But at the same time, you circle that game on the schedule because you know you have to bring your A game because there's more eyes on that game than any other game.
Hey, Cove, if you're a young player in the major leagues, right? Wouldn't you like to see how you fare against Scooble or maybe Skeens or like that's your test of like, all right, how do I perform against the best pitchers in the game? I think a lot of these young female, WNBA players are saying, all right, let's see how I fare against Caitlin Clark, the famous eye-rolly, everyone loves her, Caitlin Clark. So you're right, there's a little bit of hate, and there's a little bit of a, like I said, a
But
litmus
guess
test.
what?
How am I?
You want to be the player in life, the player on the court, the boxer in the ring with the target on your back because if you're that person, that just means you're the champ. That means you're the best. That means you're the one that everybody's going after. And to be the man, you got to beat the man. Who said that? Ric Flair?
Yeah.
But it's true in life. If you're really the one with the target on your back, it's because you're the best one out there. So that's who you really want to be. So all the props in the world to the Fever and Caitlin Clark, because whether you like her or not, they're the ones they're trying to beat.
Your thoughts? I see the phones are hot. Let's go. 877-99 on Fox. We got more Covino and Rich, more Friday action-packed fun here on Fox Sports Radio.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready? Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Joe. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes!
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available. We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants that?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah! Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready? Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio.
bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Joe. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes!
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available. We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants that?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah! Wake up, up? It's Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Fox Sports Radio.
Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
Going
I can't help but
back
notice
to the
that the
phones, get you
W2s
involved like we always do. The most inclusive show on radio, Covino and Rich, the world famous CNR and FSR. Danny G, super producing, 877-99 on Fox if you want to chime in, or at Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio on social media. Thanks again to all who partied with us in Vegas. People still adding pictures and posting pictures. We appreciate it. So you can check ours out at Covino and Rich. Monsi, man, she was partying in Vegas. Poolside. Bringing the party.
I know. Total
And
groupie. Total groupie.
She's bringing the updates in about 10 minutes. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. And again, let's get back to the phones and the conversation. Sophie Cunningham of the Indiana Fever basically said that nobody likes them in the league and they're circled on everybody's schedule. I guess the core of the question is, well, why? Why doesn't anyone really like them? Why are they circled?
Yo, to quote your favorite 90s pop rock band, the Gin Blossoms.
Not mine. Yours, maybe.
Hey, jealousy.
That's
It's
a lot of it.
All jealousy. And during the break, Iowa Sam and I had a better conversation than we did on the air. I know you love that.
I hate that.
But it's true. You can't get mad. Here's the thing.
Everybody has a different path.
Yeah, you can't get mad because someone brought attention to something you were working hard at all along. You really can't. Some WNBA player can't be mad that, well, now we're popular because of Caitlin Clark? Yeah, no one cared. I'm sorry to tell you. Now they do. You should be grateful for Caitlin Clark, the attention Angel Reese brings, the attention that, Paige Beckers. That is what you desire and love. Covino and I worked at SiriusXM for a good 15 years, right? To say we weren't thankful when Howard Stern signed on, he brought attention to a network that we were on that was trying to gain some steam.
He brought how many followers to or subscribers, rather?
Dude, we started there. There were hundreds of thousands of people to tens of millions of people.
I think it went from 300,000 subscribers to 3 million, overnight.
That is crazy.
Yeah, overnight. And then now, over 30, almost 40 million.
It baffles me how anyone would be anything other than just be like, you might not like her personally, but yeah, grateful for what her and some of these young women brought, especially her. The end.
Yeah, but I look at it this way, too, from the flip side, Rich. Yeah, envy and all that, jealousy, but whatever lights your fire, man, whatever gets you fired up and motivated.
Yeah, man, I agree with that.
That you see that on the court and you get a better product because it gets us talking.
It's such weenie thinking, though, to be like, yeah, but I was working hard all along. Yeah, well, guess what? No one cared. Now they do, so embrace it. Embrace it.
Let's go to the phones.
You call it jealousy. I might call it also frustration. I think people are frustrated because I was just looking at they're moving games from their smaller home venues to larger venues to accommodate the Caitlin Clark crowd. And those people are probably like, well, they're coming into our place. They're going to come into our home arena. Oh, we're going to teach them a lesson.
That would be like us getting mad that we were having a big company dinner and, I don't know, Colin said he was coming, so now they change it to a nicer restaurant. You'd be like, awesome. Thank you, Colin.
You get a little territorial,
we were going to Cheesecake Factory the minute Cowherd said he's coming. Now we're going to, Del Frisco's. I'm in.
Yeah, but it would be him changing the restaurant for a CRC for your home court.
See
what I'm saying?
The team to beat. She's the team to beat.
Right.
And that's really it. All right, your calls now. Let's get you involved. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, we'll go to Kansas and DJ Different. What's up, DJ?
Hey, what's up, you guys? I haven't talked to you guys. Hey, I haven't talked to you guys in a long while. I like you guys' intro, but let me get right to the point.
Yeah, man.
Caitlin Okay, Caitlin Clark. If the ladies don't know how to step up their game to get past her, okay, it's like Michael Jordan when he first came to the league, nobody liked him. 2, something about when you guys said about something that you like to do. I'm like 60 or 61, something in one of those numbers. I like playing basketball, but I coach basketball. So I'll talk to the young ball players. Come up, be better than me, and be better than your other ball players. Thank you guys for the topic. I love you guys. I'm off the hook.
Hey,
Love you,
DJ
man.
Different, man. Thanks for the call.
And by the way, that is an interesting thought, too. If you're one of those people that love to play sports, and I question, well, why don't you play? If you coach, that could fulfill that passion. I just feel it's interesting that
But
we all
watching
loved.
also fulfills the passion. Talking about it every day like we do fulfills the passion. You think Brian Windhorst is out there hitting jumpers, or is he loving basketball?
I don't think he ever was.
But that's the point. You're allowed to be a fan.
Kaylee in Fresno. Hi, Kaylee.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Honestly, I listen to you every day. What a thrill. I just had 2 quick comments. One was, I guess, about Caitlin Clark really quick. There's so few spots for women to be praised in any circuit that's dominated by men, and it's just forced us into a competitive position. In situations where we are dominant, we support each other. In situations where we're competing for attention or competing for a spot or competing for praise, then we have no choice but to be unsupportive. And I think that goes across the board. It's not a women thing. It's a people thing, and it just happens to be more our thing in
You know what?
sports.
Agreed. I'm gonna give you the weakest analogy, but you'll agree. It's like The Bachelor. You know, women will support each other unless 25 are fighting over the same dude, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
no matter how awful that dude is.
Yes. What else you got, Kaylee?
And then just really quick, as a mother of a son and a wife, playing sports at any age right now, they've kind of sucked all the fun out of it. Unless you're really good, there isn't a space for you. And even like my 40-year-old husband, who was a baseball player and a football player and a wrestler, wanted to join one of those little softball leagues. And he's like, gosh, I had fun playing softball, but I don't want to spend all weekend with a bunch of dudes who are trying to get away from their wives and kids. And I feel like that's kind of the environment that has been created in adult sports. It's like, well, let's come out here and talk bad about our families or complain about our lives. And it's really not about guys who just want to play softball or just want to play basketball with their buddies. I mean, I'm sure it is. Like, there's no broad strokes in
It's
any
also
topic,
a lot of
but
dudes without, not all, but without families and kids. They have a lot
That
of
is
time
true.
on their hands. I mean, it's a good mix of both.
That
was a great call.
Hey,
Thank
Kaylee.
you.
Good
Great
points
call.
there, Kaylee.
Appreciate you, Kaylee.
I like some female callers. They always make more sense.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
Isn't that the story of our lives?
It's like
They make sense on the phone, but on the basketball court, I don't know. They're trying to take down the one person
Yeah.
that matters.
And
Makes
Kelsey
no
Plum
sense.
doesn't want to sign autographs.
Exactly.
All right, well, Monty, you want to make sense of an update? What's doing in the world today?
You know, it's funny that you brought up The Bachelor because what was it, like a week ago, we saw all these fights in the WNBA, like multiple games. And I was like, you guys are embarrassing me. It's like I watch The Bachelor because I enjoy the drama in the house with all the girls.
Yeah, of
when
course.
it's The Bachelorette, all the bros are freaking homies by the end of it.
It's ridiculous,
It is
yeah.
different. It is so different. But that is the perfect example. I said that to Shay, who works here with us, who was also partying it up in Vegas. All right, yeah, Caitlin Clark.
I think Shay's still hungover from
I think
last
so.
weekend.
Y'all,
Shay said
he
what?
He flew in Sunday and was here. And I saw him, and I was like, I can't. He's like, I was with Covino 4 hours ago.
He said he was working, and he's like, I was at a blackjack table 4 hours.
Not to call it our buddy Shay. I know you got your update
Yeah,
to
no,
do.
you're good.
But my wife was on the same flight as him.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he told me.
And she's
And
like,
Sarah found him.
They were boarding the plane, and she said Shay was at the airport just sleeping upright, and
Yeah.
she's like, "You got to get on the plane."
Yes. Yeah. Shay told me.
You have to be at Fox Sports Radio. I think in 2
Yeah,
hours.
in 2 hours.
Yeah, he would have missed the flight if she didn't wake him up.
He absolutely told me. He told me Sarah saved him on Sunday. All
He
right.
slept in the luggage compartment.
Fever star Caitlin Clark, missing her second straight game tonight with that left groin injury. Unfortunately, it is the first matchup against Paige Beckers and the Wings, but there are more matchups later in the season. In the NBA, well, Ace Bailey, the 5th overall pick, he plans to report to the Utah Jazz on Saturday. ESPN with the story. Masai Ujiri is out as vice chairman and president after 13 seasons with the Toronto Raptors. They went 30-52 this past season, missed the postseason for the 3rd straight year. An autographed Michael Jordan rookie card sold for $2.5 million, the most ever paid for a Jordan rookie card. And in baseball, Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh leads the majors in homers with 32, said he's going to participate in next month's home run derby. No catcher has ever won the Derby, which began in 1985. And apparently, Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds declined to participate already in the Home Run Derby. So right now, it's just Cal Raleigh and Ronald Acuna Jr. Back to you guys.
Oof. I mean, I'm happy to hear that.
And you know my favorite meathead will probably get involved, Pete Alonso.
I hope so. Also, I'm sure you saw Mets pitcher Griffin Canning ruptured his Achilles.
Yeah, that was
a
tough
rough
to watch.
moment.
And you
It was
know
tough.
what? He was a great addition to the Mets, like a perfect middle of the rotation guy. And you know what you hate? You always say this. People say, "Man, we have too many starting pitchers," and you're like, "No, that'll solve itself. I promise."
Absolutely.
There's always something that goes down. Thank you, Monty.
Thank you, Monty Bolaños.
Cheers.
And speaking of Cal Raleigh, we're going to talk about him in a few minutes.
And his big dumper?
And his big dumper, because he is participating in the Home Run Derby. Who does the honor go to? Let's say it was you in the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
Do you pick a relative, a former coach,
Who's
a
pitching?
friend? Well, for Cal Raleigh, it's his dad. So what would you do? Plus, I also want to talk how close the MVP voting would be if it was him and Judge right now.
Ooh.
So we'll talk a little Cal Raleigh, and we still got to get to weekend hobnobbing, podcast reviews. We have a lot to get to. We got more Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo
joking.
Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, "Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense." Her mom walked in. "Can you believe he was dead the whole time?"
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, "Oh, look at that bozo over there," and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a
So we're playing some POD. Good choice there, Sam. Feeling alive, getting ready for the weekend. Friday's here. Fight weekend. Chavez Jr., Jake Paul. I'll tell you all about it during weekend hobnobbing. But I am feeling alive. He's playing POD, Payable on Death, the band from San Diego, representing the Big SD.
Oh, San Diego.
And last
Wales,
night, Rich, I was trying to pick the hardcore four, I named it, of that era of music. Do you want to hear who they are real quick?
The hardcore four of like 90s, 2000s rock?
Well, it sounded cooler than Mount Rushmore, right? The hardcore four.
I like it. Let's hear it.
I made that up.
Did you put POD on there?
No, I did not, but I do like them. I respect them.
Alice in Chains.
No, that's Lithium era. That's
so
like
you
90s. That's grunge era, right?
Okay.
So I'm talking angry, divorced dad rock era.
Shinedown?
Nope, but a lot of people chimed in with Shinedown because they're a legitimate band. So I'll give you my four.
Wait, hold on. Let me at least try to guess a little bit. System of a Down?
Absolutely. Yep, they're in the Mount Rushmore.
All right.
Of that era, guys. Of this era, like late 90s, early 2000s.
Korn?
Korn, absolutely. Yep.
System, Korn.
Two more.
Korn System.
Any guesses, Danny? I was saying System of a Down.
I actually
Korn.
saw Covino's tweet, so I don't want to give it away.
I don't follow him.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, he's busy
I'm busy playing softball.
with his beer guzzling buddies.
Let's hear the other two.
Linkin Park, because there was a lot of rap rock, but they did it the best, right?
Yes.
And I said it's got to be Metallica, but Metallica's their own mountain. They're their own mountain. They transcend generations.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing Limp Bizkit in there for what they meant. For what they meant for that era. But it's debatable. That's what's fun. But previous generations, it's easier to pick the core four, the Mount Rushmore. That era, it's a little more difficult.
When you mention Linkin Park, you could argue they are very rated. I still feel like they are underrated.
Songs
I
for
feel
days.
like crossover to the mainstream, rock, pop, everything. I think the song, this is a bold statement. I think the song "In the End" by Linkin Park could be
Great
a top.
song.
It could be a top 3 song
By the way,
of that decade.
A great party trick too, because you walk by any piano, you just hit the ding, 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 and then women are like, "Oh my god,
You play?
I didn't know." and then you walk away like,
And isn't that the one they remixed with Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
they did
that
Collision
remix
Chorus.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one I'm thinking Red Yankee Hat.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my
nice.
one. That was my one because Metallica's too massive, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure they're defining of that era.
And they've
right?
been around for 20 years already, so.
But we do play them, and I'll be talking more about it on Turbo tonight. That's SiriusXM Turbo 41. But the place to be is Fox Sports Radio right here. If you're on the iHeartRadio app, thank you. If you're listening to the podcast in the future, thank you. And that brings us to the Tire Rack Play of the Day. It's the team with the best record in baseball right now.
The 3-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball to second base, sliding backhand to stop by Torres, gets up, throws, Tigers win.
Tigers win. That's courtesy of Tigers Radio Network, and that's our Tire Rack Play of the Day. For over 40 years, our friends at Tire Rack have been finding the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. And by the way, the Tigers, when they're good, it's really fun for that AL Central. You know, we forget that they were.
Detroit is popping right now with their sports teams.
There was a moment where we talk about how the Texas Rangers got close a couple times. You know, they won a couple years ago, but remember they lost a few World Series. You could say the same about the Tigers, the Verlander years and all that. They got close and lost a few World Series and, you know, never got over that hump. So, hey, maybe this year they're your biggest AL competition there, Yankees boy.
Well, speaking of baseball, Yankees boy here, to remind you that Aaron Judge is still the guy, okay? Cal Raleigh's doing great things. There's a two-part doozy right here. Cal Raleigh announced he's in the home run derby. First and first, mostly, I want to give him props because a lot of people shy away from it. Could mess your swing up. Some people believe in that. Happened to Bobby Abreu, famously. People remember he was never the same after that, right? Because you're hacking. You get tired.
It's happened to a few players.
It's happened to a few players. So I give him all the props in the world. He's having a career season. We've never seen anything like that for this position, right? Breaking all sorts of catcher records. And he announced that his dad is pitching to him. Like, what an honor. We've seen it before, Robbie Cano and a few other players. What an honor for him and his dad, who was throwing him backyard wiffle balls probably his whole life. So the first question is, who would you choose? Like, who do you give that honor to? A former coach? If it was me, do I reach out to my former JV coach, Mr. Hamburg? Because my varsity coach passed away, unfortunately, but shout out to Mr. Saplinski. An old college pal, a high school friend, your wiffle ball buddy.
You might have to call the kid you logged the most hours of playing with. Like if you have that neighborhood kid that you played home run derby with and wiffle ball, that might be his shining moment.
What
like,
a thrill, right?
Like Steve made it, you know, like.
Or does my dad get on the mound? Hey, I don't know, my arm is hurting a little bit. I wouldn't want to put that sort of pressure on my dad.
Hey, choke up.
But again, that's my dad. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thrown a ball in about 35 years.
Come on now, hit the green.
Yeah,
Nothing
right.
in between.
Yeah, all right, here you go. All right, ooh, ah. Right, my dad pulls something in the moment. So who would you give that honor to? And then we got to talk MVP, man, because that's the big talk right now. We got more. Covino and Rich next.